Hi, this is Mike Pettigrew and welcome to another episode of Transformation and Empowerment. How we think about something will have a profound effect on the outcome of whatever it is we're trying to achieve. We often hear about the power of positive thinking, but consider for a moment that there may also be a power of negative thinking. Now, growing up I had very little self-confidence, and as a kid I suffered from asthma. And this prevented me from being any good at sports, and nobody wanted me on their football or rugby team because I was just so bad at sports. If I ran 100 yards, I'd be wheezing and fighting for breath, and there were all sorts of limitations put on what I could do and what I couldn't do by my asthma. And because nobody ever wanted me on their team, I started believing I was pretty much useless at everything. And fortunately, gradually as I grew older and moved into business, I slowly but surely started to see that I had a lot more abilities than I ever thought possible. And gradually I became very good at things, and gradually I started to see the fruits of my efforts. So over time, I developed a lot of self-confidence and became a very positive thinker. And confidence can really be a bit like a snowball rolling down a hill. As you start to see that you're actually good at things and you start to see the results of your actions, then it can give you even greater confidence to set even bigger goals. And as Henry Ford once said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. And this really applies to everything that we set out to achieve in life. Belief in our own abilities determines absolutely everything. If we don't believe that we can achieve something, then despite all our efforts, we usually are prevented from achieving it. And you see, over time and through lots of difficult experiences, we can gradually build up all sorts of negative beliefs about what's possible and what's not possible for us. And it's this accumulation of subconscious beliefs that actually controls what we can achieve in our life. If it's true that hardship, disappointments and big challenges can gradually close us down to innumerable possibilities in life, then it's really important. It's really important that we learn how to overcome these subconscious beliefs. We can gradually become a positive thinker, just like we can gradually become a negative thinker. And when we start to stretch our realm of possibilities by setting goals for ourselves and achieving them, we gradually start to become more positive and develop more self-confidence and belief in what we can achieve. But even if we become abundantly positive and confident, as I managed to do many years ago, positivity can still be swept away through challenging experiences. And it's true to say that we never reach a plateau where we're full of confidence and positivity, or that we will never be shaken from that state. It's the truth to say that within all of us is positive and negative, light and dark, wisdom and disillusion. And depending on how we manage our own minds and the experiences that we go through will determine whether positivity or negativity will dominate our lives. Several years ago, I went from being very positive to becoming quite negative. And this happened as a result of extreme hardship. Having gone from a teenager who believed that they couldn't do anything, gradually to becoming very optimistic and positive and confident, my positivity was all swept away and very, very quickly. I was very successful in business, but I made the big mistake of trusting the wrong people and making the wrong investments. And over a short period of time, I went from being a millionaire to losing every cent in my entire world. And when you reach the stage where you don't have any money to feed your wife or newborn baby son, then it can be incredibly frightening. And this is exactly what happened to me. And when you're losing vast amounts of money every single week and there isn't a single cent left to buy food for your wife and your baby, it's very hard to remain positive and optimistic. And I definitely went from being positive to being negative and expecting the worst. So, as I said a moment ago, in life we don't reach a fixed stage where we never regress. That's not what happens. Everything depends on the degree of control we have over our mind and how we face our most difficult experiences. But within every great hardship lies the seed of enormous growth and benefit, even if we do not see it at the time. And it took me some time before I started to see the value in this incredibly painful and frightening experience, because my thoughts had become predominantly negative, and I was expecting more and more difficulty, and that's exactly what I experienced. I experienced more of the same. My subconscious mind had become dominated by fear, uncertainty, and I constantly listened to my negative inner voice that kept telling me that I was useless and that I'd lost all my abilities and that I really would not be able to change my circumstances ever again. When you experience so many different challenges that reaffirm to you that your negative beliefs are true, then there's even greater momentum towards suffering and pain and fear and more negative experiences. It can be really a vicious circle. It can be a vicious circle, and it can be extremely difficult to transform unless you know what to do in order to change it. We all have positive and negative within us. Likewise, most of us give in to our own inner negativity most of the time. It's because most people give in to their own negative inner voice and their limitations that they may not achieve anything remarkable during their lifetime, and this is really sad. But the fact is, you really are capable of incredible things, providing you adopt the right mindset and make constant, consistent efforts towards changing and challenging your circumstances. And as a great man once said, strive to become the master of your mind rather than allowing your mind to master you. Now, unfortunately, most of us allow our minds to run rampant and control us totally, but it is possible to take back that control and to weaken the effects that your negative thoughts and feelings have over you and what happens to you. And for me, the crucial turning point came when I rediscovered the incredible transformative power of gratitude. And by bringing up gratitude every 30 minutes of the day, I gradually started to reprogram my mind towards positivity and expecting positive changes in the future. And the effect was incredible. Within only a few days, I started to see coincidences and synchronicities starting to appear again. And although the entire situation took a lot of time to change completely, positive change began the very moment I started to use the power of gratitude to transform the situation. Gratitude really does have this power. Now, at any moment in our lives, we're either expressing to some extent either gratitude or complaint, appreciation or blame. And if our tendency is to complain, then this keeps us locked into a negative pattern of loss, where we experience loss instead of benefit. But on the other hand, when you start to reprogram your life with gratitude and begin to appreciate even the smallest things in your life, then your gratitude becomes a powerful magnet that will draw into your life all sorts of wonderful benefits and happiness. Gratitude is your powerful and transformative happiness magnet. Now, even though your thoughts and feelings really do have an effect on your environment and draw into your life all sorts of experience based on your dominant thoughts and feelings, this actually works also on a physical level in your own body, because scientists have observed that when we feel anger or other negative emotions, then all sorts of toxic chemicals are released into our bloodstream that actually affect our health negatively and our brain itself. You see, you really can think and feel your way into becoming ill and into an experience where your brain and your mind operates at a far lower threshold. It's even possible to think in such a way where you become less intelligent. This is fact. And the expression, if you don't use it, you lose it, is so true. But on the other hand, by adopting a far more positive mindset and taking actions based on those positive thoughts and feelings, you'll release into your bloodstream chemicals that are beneficial to your body. And it's also possible to increase your intelligence when you continually put your brain to task. This is science, this is fact. So if you've ever found yourself in a vicious circle of negative thoughts and feelings and reactions, then you can change everything by learning how to reprogram your thoughts and your feelings. Now, I go into this in great depth in my 6-CD audio training program, the 30-Day Success Formula. And this program can completely transform your life and enable you to achieve all your goals in life. I also have a free 4-part video training course called The Keys to Empowerment, Success and Happiness, which you can get for free at the bottom of my homepage on my website, which is at mikepettigrew.com. So I do hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to serving you again soon. I really do hope you've enjoyed this episode, and before I go, I have a very special offer for you, which I'll explain in a moment. But before I do, I just want to say that if you've enjoyed this episode, then please do give us a like below this video, because when you do this, it enables other people to also benefit from it. Of course, if you'd like to leave a comment, then you're most welcome to do so, and I'll be really happy to hear from you. Now, if you're watching this episode on YouTube, then please do remember to subscribe to my channel. And you can also listen to my Transformation and Empowerment podcast on iTunes. Now, let me tell you about the special bonus I mentioned a moment ago, because if you go to my website right now at mikepettigrew.com, then for a limited time only, you can get free lifetime access to our special members-only area. Membership will give you access to all sorts of inspiring and empowering videos and training materials that you won't find anywhere else on my website. And again, right now, membership is completely free, but I can really only offer this for a limited time. So I strongly recommend that you get your membership right now, and I believe you will find it a very valuable resource and source of inspiration and empowerment. And you can sign up and get immediate access from any page on my website. So again, thank you so much for watching this episode, and I look forward to serving you again soon.